me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
I feel like I try to create a place where when everybody comes there, that they feel like it was made for them. When everybody there is having a spot that they feel like they've had made for them, and they look around and everybody that they see is having a good time, they feel like they have been a part of that community. So when I get to do a special event, I get to create the place that community will be able to thrive.
Welcome back to the Rec Room Podcast, powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, our special collaboration with Henry County, Georgia Parks and Recreation, a department that's redefining what community connection looks like. From fireworks at the Speedway to haunted trails that bring families together, this episode pulls back the curtain on the creative minds behind Henry County's special events team. You'll hear how their passion turns ideas into experiences, how every festival becomes a family reunion, and why they believe Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. So grab your coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore how special events don't just entertain, they build the heartbeat of a community. Let's dive in.
All right, we are live again with another monthly episode of the Rec Room. This is where we partner DPRS Media Company, the Daily Parks and Rec Show, partners with Henry County, Georgia to create the Rec Room, which is a monthly podcast of how Henry County, Georgia does what they do in all the different departments and all the different efforts that it takes to run an entire Parks and Rec community. And they do it so well. And they go across the country telling people how they do it, sharing all that wisdom. And now we have a monthly podcast that we create with them. And this is where we really get to pull the curtain back, because unfortunately, some of our shows are very surface level because we only got an hour to cover everything a Parks and Rec does. But now we're in Georgia. 12 hours to really do deep dives into all the different parts of Parks and Rec. And today's show is specific to special events. But before we get started, I want to play a little promo for how you can partner with us if you are a Park and Rec department, or if you're a vendor like to help us create specific content to the industry. You can. We're just now opening this up. So if you want to know more, you want to start that conversation, just hit me up on LinkedIn and we can get it going. And then I'm going to let me play something I have an essential services video that we created that is by far and away our most popular video. And it just frames the conversation of why Parks and Rec is such an essential service. So I'll play both of those back to back, and then we'll come and start our conversation with Henry County.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion Parks and Rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move Parks and Rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them. When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
All right. So we may not, you don't think when you think essential services, you might not think special events, but maybe we can talk about what special events does for a community, bringing it together, that kind of stuff, and why it's important to keep that stuff going. Donna, would you like to start us off with that one?
Yes, I think it's a great way for the community to come out and make connections. Just having everything that people can come out and share experiences together. And at the end of the day, they feel like they've met some people from their actual community that they can interact with. And I think that is huge.
Yeah. Maybe each of you can kind of, in your own way, answer that question. Why is special events so important to the community? And we'll go with Katrina, Dakota, and then Paige.
I really pour into the community when I do an event. And I was telling the girls this morning, we were getting some of those hallways done. I feel like I try to create a place where when everybody comes there, that they feel like it was made for them. And when everybody there is having a spot that they feel like they've had made for them, and they look around and everybody that they see is having a good time, they feel like they have been a part of that community and building that community. So when I get to do a special event, I get to create the place that community will be able to thrive, if that makes sense.
Love it. Love it. Dakota?
Yes, I agree that special events, it helps build communities. And I'm on social media a lot, and I see a lot of like TikTok and people talking about how they wish in their communities they had a place that would create something for everyone to be together and to enjoy things together and not have any division. So I definitely believe that the events that we have here at Henry County Parks and Recreation brings people together. And our special events team works very hard every single time and sets the highest standard and the highest bar for all of our events every single time.
Love that. Paige?
There's a lot of intentionality that we put into special events, and since being on the special events team full time, Katrina has really showed me how much intentionality she puts in them and the whole team, just seeing how it's put together more logistically, kind of piggybacking off of what she said, making it for the community makes it a whole lot different when we are pouring into it, because we're pouring into the community. So for us, there's more intention to it, and it benefits us in return. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm curious if Henry County, Georgia has ever made, I don't know if you would call it a mistake, but had to cancel an event or change an event. And then what was the blowback? Maybe what are some of the bloopers reels or funny stories where you've had to cancel something and And then the community just goes to war with you about about bringing that back. Has that ever happened to y'all? You ever had to postpone or push back or cancel an event? Let's
Yeah.
see. Paige, why don't you go
Oh,
first?
I was gonna say the first one that popped into mind was it was the Mother's Day parade, and unfortunately, and we were so excited working on the float. We're out there stapling flowers to the float, um, and put a lot into that. We put a lot into it, but then the weather. It was all just the weather, and we wanted to make sure that no one was hurt. You know, safety comes first and foremost. So that was one that I was really sad because I was so excited for the float, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see, Dakota.
Since I've been working in special events, there hasn't been a situation come up where we had to cancel or rearrange an event. So,
Oh, that's good. Maybe
mhm.
go back into, Donna and Katrina's world where there may have been something that, or maybe have y'all ever just completely canceled an event? Because I know these communities, like, hang on to that tradition and look forward to the 3rd and 4th year of something, and you get that momentum, and then all of a sudden have y'all made a change before? We'll go Donna and then Katrina on that one.
Well, I've been here a long time. So when the economy crashed, we had to start doing special events, and that was pretty sad for our department. But I think the community kind of understood that there were some issues going on, so you couldn't. Things were so tight; it was very difficult to justify all that. So we did have to curtail some of that back then, and since then, I think things have opened up, and yeah, they're much more receptive now to us doing special events again. So, and we came out, especially during our 50th year celebration, just to remind them what Parks and Rec can do with special events, and I think we blew it out of the park. So yeah, I think everybody's great. Everybody is so excited to have them back now. So we've had very few things that we've had to cancel since then that were other than just being weather related. So
Mm.
we're proud of that.
Katrina, any stories to tell around that?
Well, I was kind of going to go piggyback off of Donna there because when I came into special events, it was our 50th year. So this haunted house that we're doing, the haunted farm, that was something that Donna and Michelle did back years ago. They had a haunted trail, so we brought it back. That it was a fan favorite. The Hot Summer Fest, in my opinion, as a Henry County resident and raising my kids and my family here, we always went to Nash for fireworks and the 4th of July celebration. And like Donna said, there were years there that they weren't able to do it and it stopped for a while. And that's probably the biggest one that I have seen people come back and go, this was Henry County. They did this every year. We counted on it. And now we're at the Speedway with it. And it's really, grand. So they're very thankful to have those certain things. But you're absolutely right. The community thrives on those yearly events. I think another thing that we did with our 50th year, blowing it out of the water, everybody has an idea for an event now.
Right, right. Okay, so we're gonna pick a special event that's coming up to really go into the details on a granular level of, what does it take on the planning side, day of, how do you plan for the following year? And of course, the one we're gonna pick is the Halloween celebration, which is a super common special event. But maybe just let's just say, who wants to describe what's gonna be happening for Halloween that y'all put on? Katrina, why don't you take that one?
I was looking at their faces. So Nightmares at Nash is a haunted farm. Nash Farms is one of our parks that has 274 acres, I do believe it's right at, and it has a lake, but we only use the front part of it. But it has a historical house on it that was once a museum. It's, I think, turn of the century, isn't it, Donna? Yeah. And then we have lots of land that we use for our venue spaces. We use that land. So it starts with a trip through the haunted woods. We take them through there. We take them into that old museum house, which there's stories it may be haunted itself. But we take them through there, and then we take them into a large area that's graveyard. They'll go from the graveyard into a circus tent full of clowns, which seems to be quite terrifying for most. And they will then travel into a black box that has several rooms and haunted hallways. At the end of that, there will be vendors on site. We do sell tickets to that one, so it's not a huge crowd at one time. It's controlled crowd.
Right. So I'm curious about the creative side. So who's in charge of kind of building all these scenes and coming up with the ideas? Because I'm assuming each year it's kind of a little bit different, has a little different theme. Paige, you want to take that one?
Sure. So, so I was not here last year. I'll start with that. I was not here last year for Nightmares at Nash. This has been one of the events that everyone here will talk about through every season. They're like, oh, this is nothing compared to Nightmares at Nash. Like, oh, not Nightmare. Like, they will talk about it. So I've been highly anticipating this. And the special events team has been talking about it. She has her notebook and she writes everything down, and it helps us we all see the vision that way, and we all know what's going on. And she's walked us through, and like, this will be the haunted woods, and there will be a werewolf and all these things. And I'm a little spooked going into it, because I've seen the inspiration pictures and the inspiration videos, and we just gather a lot of things. And we've been out there at Nash, like we were out there today before this, to start just decorating. There's fake walls going up you just gotta, buy your tickets and come out to see, what we're talking about. But I'm not really into scary stuff. I'm excited because I'm going to be a part of it. I'm going to get to be a character, but we're not going to spoil anything too much.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into it, but I'm really excited. Not to be scared.
Dakota, is this your first year as well, or have you participated in this event?
This is my first year. This is my first time at Nightmares at Nash. And like Paige was saying, I've heard so many great things about it. This is the event they talk about year round. And I'm just like Paige, I'm not really into spooky stuff, but I love like creativity, and I love for creatives to be able to express themselves and be recognized. So I'm really excited to be behind the scenes with the decorating and creating like a dream come true, kind of like a vision, and bringing it to reality. So I'm really excited about doing all the behind the scenes work, and I'm really excited to see the community come through and their reaction to everything, knowing that we worked really hard on creating a vision and letting it come to life.
I love it. This show could actually be a great promo on why you want to work in Parks and Rec, because it just sounds like a blast to be a part of this special event. Katrina and Donna, maybe y'all could each speak on the evolution of this event since y'all have been working with this for a while. How many years have y'all done a Halloween event? We'll go Katrina and then Donna, and then maybe explain the evolution, each of y'all.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how many years they did it back the trail before. We've done Nightmares at Nash. This is the second year. We brought it back last year, and we did it this year. Donna can speak on the trail before and how long. I think it was here at Heritage before, and it was a walking trail. This one, we've added so many more houses and elements, different spaces, because that was one thing we heard a lot last year was there's another room, there's another space. They are always expecting it to already be done. One thing that I can say, though, that has continuously grown is everybody sees it as team building. They see it as the one event that they get to get in there and be silly and be themselves and have fun, and it's not as serious. And I feel like on the logistics part of it too, I may come up with an idea. Okay, hey, we're going to walk into the woods here, and want everybody to feel like they're being stared at. But then it's Dakota and Paige and Kara and Naomi and Jessica that'll come in and say, but what if this was right there? Or it would be really spooky if something jumped out right here at me. And I take all of those pieces and we layer them, and that's how we build the depth of the event, I think.
Fantastic. Donna?
When we first started doing the the haunted trail, we did it out at one of our parks. But since then, we've had some other construction, so it's a little bit different out here now than when we first started. But we were just trying to find something that we could do that was. Our director challenged us with finding something that we could do cheap and fun and scary. He said, "You don't need much when it's dark. Trust me." So we're all like coming up with all these ideas, and that's the funnest part, I think, is challenging the staff and letting them come up with all the ideas and just watching the magic happen after that. So we did it out here. We had a retired school bus driver that was working with us, and he went and got a bus donated, put it on hydraulics, blacked it out, painted it, did everything you can imagine to it for 2 or 3 years in a row when we did it out here. And they would put these people in this bus and shake them around and have them in the dark and all these things. They would make bridges. They had tents that you could go through. They would bury mattresses in the ground. So just anything to catch people off guard, walk through some fog, walk through something dark, something that's just going to touch them in some kind of way, even if it's just fishing lure, just to scare them in the dark, something that felt like a spider. So we had the best time. And when we did it out here, we didn't have any indoor spaces much. So when it kind of evolved and we're doing our 50th year, we're like, we could do like a haunted house. And that's kind of but we're like, well, we really like the haunted outside being in the trail. So we kind of combined it and did both, because we had indoor facilities at this other one that truly had like an old outdoor farmhouse with an upstairs. So it was, kind of like a haunted mansion type feel. And then there's also a renovated cattle barn that's been renovated probably 4 times at least since I've been here, since we acquired it. And it's a black box theater, and it lends itself perfectly to blacking out for this event. So that's kind of where we came from and where we're at today.
Now, what's the expected attendance, or what was it last year? What do y'all expect for people to show up this year? Katrina?
I do believe we had 750 last year, 750 over the 3 days. So it's not one of our huge events, but it has a pretty good turnout. And that was our first year. Everybody's expecting it this year because in my opinion, it's very cost efficient to come to this haunted house.
Katrina, how many staff does it take to not so much in the planning part, but like day of?
80 people.
Oh my gosh, you'll have 80 staff members on there working this event? That's
yes,
fantastic.
sir.
Okay, so I want to cover fundraising, vendors, and planning. I'm not sure who should speak on each of those, but maybe we can talk about the planning portion of it. When do y'all start planning this? I hear that most people start planning their special event at the previous year's special event. So, what are kind of y'all looking? What did y'all learn from last year's special event that y'all'd like to maybe bring forward, and what does that planning look like? We'll go with Donna, Katrina, and then I'll do. Actually, let me see if Paige and Dakota have anything to say on that, because I want Katrina to answer the fundraising portion of it.
I'll say that, like I mentioned before, I wasn't there last year, but I've heard so much about it. And I've heard this year is very different from last year. A lot of things changed, but I see all of the inspiration that they got from last year, everything that they learned from, all of the little things that they had to work through, and all the brainstorming coming to life, showing how they're getting to right now with Nightmares in Nash this year. And so with the planning portion of it, it's just I've seen a lot of taking from last year and kind of transforming it differently, maneuvering through all of those, and just then now we have what we have for this year. So from that perspective, I've seen it shift into what we have now.
Dakota, you have anything to add to that, the planning side of it?
I would just say also hearing about last year and like hearing some of the ideas they did last year. I'm like a creative, so I like to hear what they did last year so we can elevate it to a different level. I kind of like to challenge the status quo, like how far can I get to the line without it being like too bizarre. So I'm really, excited about this year and how we can elevate the things that were from last year and take it and change it into something that people are just completely not going to be expecting like at all.
Now, I'm making an assumption here, but I'm assuming that Paige and Dakota are a little younger than Donna and Katrina. But what's it like working, maybe coming into this program? And where did y'all come before? Were y'all part of the um, what is it, the internship program that came into Henry County? We'll go with Dakota and
So,
Paige.
okay. So I actually started off in Parks and Recreation in an after school program. I was an after school supervisor.
Hmm.
And then I moved to rentals where I was actually able to, because that was part time, I was able to work with special events and see that side of it. And that's how I was able to get to the point where I had that knowledge and I was able to then get the special events assistant job. So that's kind of how I got here where
Hmm.
I am now.
Dakota?
So I'm actually over rentals right now, but I'm kind of like a hybrid. I love helping them with special events. It's really fun, and I like to be like creative, and that gives me a outlet to be creative. So yeah, before that I was just in school and college, so I'm here
Mhm.
now helping out where I can.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's shift gears into fundraising. I know y'all stretch every dollar to try to do as much as you can, but let's just maybe talk about where the funding comes from, how much y'all have to work with, and how y'all are able to stretch that out to maybe make the event as big as possible. We'll go with Donna and then Katrina.
So we have Paige and Dakota have been, and also Kara have been great in putting together a promotional package for us for our sponsors to get donations and so forth. So they've been working really hard on keeping that current and reaching out to our community to let them know that we have all these different levels of sponsorships that they can do for these special events. So um, and the county has so graciously given us special events positions more than just one, which has really helped us out tremendously. We were able to get a one of our other representatives is Sandra Landrum, and Sandra is a graphics designer. And you can do so much more having a graphics designer in house that we're not having to share with so many departments. And she's been just the best tool, the best surprise for us in getting all of our promotional items ready to go out with sponsorships, because you've got to show everybody what you're going to be doing, what you've got to sell, and what they get in return. So having a graphics designer helping us out along with our special events team and our marketing team has just been phenomenal. So, and you do start with your next year's event, making notes and doing a wrap-up meeting about your current event as soon as it ends within the next week, before everybody is tired and gone on vacation and forgotten everything. You do a wrap-up meeting and try to go over the pros and cons of your event and what you might want to change for next year.
Mm. Katrina, do you have anything to add as far as the fundraising side?
Yes, all I wanted to add was that what she was speaking of, all that material that they make, we have our list that we send it out to, and we reach out that way. But it's about us building relationships in the community. So all of those businesses, we have spent a lot of time building a one-on-one relationship with them, letting them know, come support your community, and your community supports your business, and showing them that that's a partnership that they want to make. And I feel like in that, we've also, as the special events team, we've been going to the Chamber of Commerce's monthly small business meetings. And that way we were able to network with them as well and let them know that we are here wanting to build those relationships and have those connections to build a bit better community. And a lot of that drives in our sponsors.
Okay, so I wanted to ask Paige about her promotional package and then Katrina about partnerships. But before we get to that, we have a special guest backstage that I want to add that has a message for us. Here we have Thomas White. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I have some things to say, Craig. I've been listening to this interview and how it's going on. And no one has mentioned me yet at all. So I want to point out, if you look at my headline down there, the worst special event coordinator ever. The only reason your events look so good is because mine were so terrible. So I feel like I should be getting more credit here. I'm not getting the credit, and I'm a little upset. I'm going to mute myself while y'all keep going. I'm just going to tune in every now and again.
I'll send you the heart. That's what we need Brian to give,
You're
the big heart.
you're the only one feeling the heart right now. The rest of the group, they just forgot I existed.
We're gonna have to do something about this. Is a major issue. We'll see if we can do something, maybe get some extra funding for recognition. Okay, partnerships. Katrina.
Let me just say, Craig, let me just say, I was the first special event coordinator in like 10 years. In like 10 years that the Parks and Rec department have. You would think that I would be remembered, but Katrina comes along and blows it out of the water, and suddenly I'm forgotten. So, all right, back to partnerships. My bad.
Donna,
But I feel like all the Thomas,
Great partnerships for us, so just want to throw that out there. Okay, I'm done now.
and he was not the worst.
well, something about having a low bar that just makes your job easy when you start raising the bar. That's definitely
He had
helpful.
other gifts. He had other gifts to give us.
That's it.
I
All right.
feel a little down. Okay, partnerships. My bad.
Katrina, partnerships. What are the key partnerships with how important are they? And then what are the ones that you really want to make sure you have a part of your program?
They're all important, all the way across the board. But I strive really hard to make good partnerships with small businesses that want to get their name out there because they're good to come and be vendors and be a part and pour back into the community. Vendors, as far as our food trucks, I'm all about some food trucks. Everybody will bring me pictures and stuff of new food trucks that they might run into in different places. So that one we scout pretty hard. And as far as my sponsorships, anybody looking to be a part of the community, because that's what we all want to do is pour into the community. So anybody, I have from developers down to fast food restaurants and small businesses that are out of their homes and they sell pins, so. And Thomas did really, really well when he was special events coordinator, and he started a art show that we do at Christmas time every year.
I can't. Thomas
is great.
There we go. I think that was sent to him live from JP, right? And one of the issues that we might have that's going on over there is we might not have enough best ideas to thank people. So I don't know if Thomas, you have any ideas of what makes a great thank you for a job well done?
So I'm glad that you said that. So I'm not in my office right now, but if you did, you would see the numerous awards that I have won. Not a single one from our department, by the way, not a single one from our department, all outside of our department. But honestly, so one of the great things that we have and that we consistently recognize employees over about a job well done is our Bravo Awards. Katrina has won our Bravo Award before. Donna facilitates our Bravo Award, so she's not allowed to win. I have not won the Bravo Award, but that's a bit of a sore subject for me. And Dakota and Paige, they're still new. They can't win the Bravo Award yet, so they're still new.
Do
But
Donna and Dakota, go ahead.
Craig, one of the things that I do want to point out with our special events and things like Nightmares at Nash is that they allow us to, we talk about events and whether or not events are essential. These events allow us to form an apparatus that touches the community in ways that other government agencies can't. And that helps us when times come, when there are emergencies, when things need to be communicated, we have that apparatus to do so because of the relationships that we have formed through our special events. So we look at special events and we think, oh, they may not be essential, but how many more people are we reaching because of those special events? How many more people have heard of us? When we started our communications plan with Parks and Rec, we had something like 3,000 followers, 5,000 followers, something like that. Now we have views up to 1.3 million a month. That's the most we ever got organically. 1.3 million people a month. We used to only reach 50,000 a year, 52, 53,000 a year. And now we're reaching 1.3 million views a month, Craig. And a lot of that, most of that is contributed to the special events that we do. You will notice a much larger jump in our followers and our views compared to when I ran special events and Katrina running special events. I know I joke about it, but Katrina, Paige, Kara, and Dakota doing rentals and assisting with special events, they have really transformed what we do, and it's allowed us to touch the community in ways that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to. And
Mm.
it's redefined how our community looks at county government.
Yeah, Thomas, I'm glad you bring that up because when we think about what we do for our community, special events seems to be the thing that brings family members that live outside of the community that will attend. So not only can you serve your community, but maybe even speak about the outreach, like you said, maybe say a little bit more about the outreach that special events is that other events put on or other programs put on by your Parks and Rec department just can't reach, not like a special event can.
Well, so when you think about the people that are hard to reach, that have the most mistrust for government, more often than not, they're your low income families that have been jaded just by life circumstances, and they wind up having a mistrust of government, and they see it a lot. The more poverty, the higher the rate of crime. And so they feel let down by the system. And for that reason, they just don't have much trust in
Mm,
government. Special events that we offer for free brings those people out and helps them connect and see the positive side. And it can really change how the government is perceived and the role that it has to help you. For example, I will never forget the person who emailed me and said, "My son didn't have opportunities in this way. We didn't have the money for athletics. We didn't have the money for to get to some of the programs, but y'all brought them to us, and we
mm,
were able to do things." Like, that is a powerful, powerful impact that that family is going to remember the rest of their life.
mm. Okay, so let's talk about promoting your special events, getting the word out, kind of raising awareness. Paige, I think that they said that you had a promotional package. What are your thoughts around how to create a good promotional package, and what do you do to get the word out about the special events that y'all put on?
Well, for promotional, so we have Sandra Landrum, who's does a lot of the graphic designing. She does a lot of our flyers, and that's a big part of it because people can get their hands on them. We bring them out to some other special events, so people are able to take those with them. They take pictures, a lot of word of mouth as well. For social media, Dakota has been getting into a lot of social media. I don't know if you've seen some of the things that we've been doing here with Parks and Recreation, but she's helped with some promotional things with that, some videos, but a lot of it is sharing on social media. Like Thomas said, we have a big social media presence and viewing. It's grown a lot. So a lot of that has to do with that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now we're at kind of at the halfway, we blew past the halfway point, but I want to play something for our Young Professionals Network, and then maybe we can have Paige and Dakota and Thomas speak on that because he is one of the masters at getting young professionals involved in their Parks and Rec department. And so this is a Friday show that we do at 12 noon Friday, all for young professionals nationwide and all the different state events. And then I'm going to play right after that why you should consider Parks and Rec as a profession. I could have actually each of y'all speak on that one. So we'll play these two and then we'll come right back.
Are you ready to lead the next generation of Parks and Rec? Whether you're a student, intern, or rising leader, welcome to the Young Professionals Network by DPRS Media Co. Our mission? To empower early career professionals in parks and recreation through mentorship, visibility, and real-world leadership development. Our vision? A national network of passionate, prepared, and purpose-driven leaders who shape the future of public service. Starting now. Powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, YPN gives you access to exclusive interviews, career-building resources, behind-the-scenes content, and live events, all created by and for the next wave of Parks and Rec professionals. Learn from seasoned directors, build your brand, get involved with national conversations that matter. Whether you're in youth sports, facilities, programming, or policy, YPN is your launchpad. Young Professionals Network. Your career, your community, your story. Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
Okay, so I'd like to give each of you a chance to speak on why a young professional should consider this industry to dedicate their life to, and we'll let Thomas kick it off. We'll go Thomas, Katrina, Donna, Paige, and then Dakota.
So before we start, I should say that I recognized the talent in Paige and Dakota early on. It was my contributions to the team that really saw them the great stars that they are. Uh, Paige came by and was like, "Hey, can I have a job?" And I was like, "Sure, you're good. Come have a job." But then,
Well, that's not how it happened. Okay. It's okay.
whatever. And then I just randomly saw Dakota one day at the mall, and I was like, "Hey, come and yeah." Do we even have a
False.
mall? Do malls
False.
still exist? Yeah, malls don't even exist anymore. But no, so one of my goals in our office is to convince people to give up on all their dreams and hopes and become government professionals in parks and recreation professionals. And so far, I've done a pretty good job with it. No, and all jokes aside, Parks and Rec soothes something in your soul if you do it correctly. You have the chance to serve people in a way that very few people get the opportunity to do it. You have fun at work every day. I can tell you every day something happens that I have fun with. I can tell you there are some bad days, but even on those bad days, they're nowhere near as the bad days I had before I got in Parks and Rec. And so I want people that are considering public service to really see that as an option. In fact, Dakota and I had a conversation just a couple of days ago about, hey, do you see yourself long-term private or public sector? And I'm trying to convince her to give up on the private sector and just go public sector. Don't worry, Dakota. I promise you're not going to make any money, but you'll be a lot happier. You're going to be broke the whole time, but you will be a lot happier. And so it's just something to consider. No, I'm joking, of course, I'm joking. But Paige I knew was special from the beginning, but not just Paige. Katrina, I also she was a facility attendant back when I was special event coordinator, and a spot just randomly opened up, and I'll let her tell you the story about it. So we have a lot of young professionals, and I really take it upon myself to try to bring in these young professionals. But we have some professionals that may not be considered young, but they're new professionals in their career. Not saying that Katrina's not considered young. I definitely didn't say that. Michelle couldn't be considered young anymore, for example, but not Katrina definitely can. No one tell Michelle I said that. That's an ongoing joke. But Katrina,
Katrina, go ahead.
Hey, I would have to say that the reason that you would want to be in this field. So I was a facility attendant. This was my just my part-time weekend job when Thomas was special events coordinator. And he
the
brought me
greatest
in.
event coordinator.
I started to say the greatest, and I looked up and saw worse, so I stopped. You shouldn't have put that on there. But I would say that in the time that I have been full time, I should have done it a long time ago. Actually, my first internship was with a Parks and Rec. It was with Forest Park. It's a municipality in Clayton County that was a city municipality. And I did an internship with them. And then I did some other things. And I was telling my husband yesterday, I was like, everything I've ever done said that I should have been in Parks and Rec all along. Like, I love parks. My kids knew every park in a tri-county area, just all of the things that come along with Parks and Rec. But the most that I would say to a young professional wanting to get into it is you will never have the same boring day repetitively. It is always changing and always growing and becoming something more.
All right, we'll go Donna, Dakota, and Paige.
Sorry, my mouth's not cooperating. But yeah, that's the part that I like. I think variety is the spice of life, and you have so much variety here. You do not have the same day hardly ever, and it's always something new, some kind of challenge. You may wake up and say, "Well, this is what I had on my agenda. This is what I thought I was going to do today," and the universe tells you something totally different, and you and your whole team are given a whole new set of challenges for the day, whether it's weather related and you've got to go turn a rec center into an emergency shelter, or you got to go assist another department with an issue that they're having. It just depends, but there's all sorts of challenges, and it's so rewarding at the end of the day. That the people that we work with and working with the community is just it's so rewarding. At the end of the events, people come up to you crying sometimes, but they're just so grateful that somebody provided a place to transport them in time to a different type of setting, a different type of place, to let them and their children enjoy an event for free. And they are just so emotional at the end of the day that it's just astounding when they go to leave, and you do not let that ever go. You remember those times. And I think one of the highest compliments that I think that I've received here at Parks and Rec came from another coworker, another employee in a different department that had gone through, taken her family through the haunted trail that we had outside that we did years ago, and it scared them so bad that the next morning, she said her and her husband were so inspired by it that they got up and woke the children up the next day with a chainsaw. Just to scare them out of bed. They were just so inspired by us and our department and our and all of our characters that we had that I was like,
as a communications person, I just want to clarify that is not our goal. I just want to clarify, we do not recommend scaring your children awake with chainsaws. Just want to throw that out there as our comms person.
But it is very rewarding.
Fantastic. Dakota and then Paige.
I would say the same thing, is that it's rewarding. The first special event I worked on was our Hot Summer Fest event in July, and I kind of shadowed Paige with making sure all the vendors were taken care of, and just hearing some of their things they were saying as they were leaving, and we were sending them off in their cars, and they were just so thankful and appreciative of us, and we should have been showing the most gratitude. And during we had a big firework display. I went to sneak and sit in the stands because my family came, but then it was so rewarding to hear people around me as I was sitting there say wow, this is the best fireworks show I've ever seen. This is how did they pull this off? They're there's drones. They were just so to hear that from the community, knowing that I helped create that, it was just so special to be a part of.
Love it. Love it. Paige?
So I just agree with all of them. But no, I kind of coming into Parks and Recreation. So what really happened, unlike what Thomas said, was that Kara, who did an internship, I came across her at a coffee shop, and she called Thomas, and yes, he has something to do with it. He helped me get my foot in the door, and just in the after school program. But then I was here a lot, and I got to be around Thomas and Katrina and Donna and everyone else, and I saw how they were with each other. But of course, it wasn't until I was actually here more often that I really got to see the inner workings and everything. But I was hesitant at first coming into it because I was getting my degree and I wanted something that, like they said, was not going to be the same every day. There is a what's the word for it? There's something good about having a stability, but I don't want every day to be the same. The stability here in Parks and Rec is the people that you work with. That's your foundation, that's your anchor. And it's the leadership here that really makes it what it is, at least for me, because the encouragement that they give, and it's just nothing, so I highly recommend it. And it's definitely different, especially special events. There is something so special about it. It's the heartbeat, it's the cornerstone of the community, in my opinion.
Paige, if you had to pick one leader that just really inspires you in the department, who would you say that leader is? Somebody that really encourages you and then keeps you going.
um
You muted at just the right time, but I can tell that I would not have liked the answer. So that was perfect. But Craig, I think there's something really important that we should highlight here. We have multiple generations saying the exact same thing. We've got Gen X with Katrina and Donna, and then we have Gen Z with Dakota, Paige, and myself. We're all agreeing that why are y'all laughing? Why are y'all laughing? No,
You are not Gen Z.
together. Those of us in our 20s, we stick together and we talk. Okay, no, I'm a millennial. Okay, no, seriously, we have Gen X, we have millennials, and we have Gen Z all here together saying the exact same thing about it. So it shows you the staying power of not just the career itself, but also the reward that the events bring. And you can have all the data that you want and all of the research that you want to do, but this speaks more volume than any of that data will. It transcends age, it transcends time. Service is just a powerful, powerful thing, no matter your age.
I love it. Okay, so I want to close out the show with each of you can answer one of two questions. One can be, what's your funniest story around a special event? Or if you had an unlimited budget for a special event, what would it be and why? And so we'll go with Dakota, Paige, Donna, Katrina, and let Thomas bring us home.
If I had an unlimited budget with a special event, I'd probably throw like a Snoopy Peanuts Christmas parade extravaganza with like all of the live action Snoopy characters on ice. Like it would just be like the craziest thing ever, because like that's one of the things I'm so passionate about, Christmas, and that's what I would do. I just make it just crazy, fun, super holiday theme, or like a Home Alone theme where like Home Alone traps everywhere. One of the two themes. If I had an unlimited budget, that was what I would choose.
I think Donna can find room in the budget for that event. I would attend for sure. Paige?
If I had an unlimited budget, I love mystery. So I would do a mystery dinner, mystery, murder mystery, kind of all inclusive. Everyone dresses up. You're given a character. I mean, I just love trying to figure it out. Or include that, but it's a giant escape room.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you are not
I
allowed
love
to do
escape
escape
rooms.
No. You are not allowed to do an escape room for Parks and Rec.
I would do an escape room.
Just create an escape room.
Community-friendly, family-friendly escape room.
No, she is way too competitive. She is way too competitive.
I would plan it. I wouldn't do it. I'd test it, but I wouldn't do it. That's for the
You would have to
community.
do it. You wouldn't be able to help yourself. You'd have to do it. I'm sorry. My bad. Katrina, go ahead.
Donna, go ahead.
Mine would be so I'm real big on Christmas and I'm real big on fireworks, but I think our 4th of July, the fireworks show, combining it with the drone show, and then having the music piece, concerts. I just love the biggest blowout for 4th of July that you can imagine. It's July's my birthday month, and I always feel like the 4th of July is just part of my kickoff celebration for my birthday month, and I just love going all out for the 4th of July.
Love it. Katrina?
This one's really hard for me because I feel like I get to create anything that comes to my mind already. What event would I create if I had unlimited money? I think that I would go all out on Goodbye Summer. And my reasoning being is because it touches my heart. The first year I did Goodbye Summer, the public safety collects book bags. So they had 500 that year, and our line went all the way to the road. So there wasn't enough. So if I could take unlimited money, I would make the biggest back to school blowout that just absolutely everybody that showed up in need had what they needed for that year. That would be mine.
Yeah,
Thomas?
and no one really wants to know what my unlimited budget special event would be. So we're not going to talk about that. Instead, I'm going to tell you about the funniest event. So every single year for Halloween, I have been injured in one way or another during our Halloween event. Whether it's KP standing at the bottom of the stairs of the haunted house. By the way, that house is haunted. I don't care what y'all say. I heard the baby crying in the kitchen. I heard the baby crying in the kitchen. And there were people with me. You can't say otherwise. But whether it's KP at the bottom of the stairs, jumping out and scaring me, he claims he just walked around the corner, but I think he jumped out and scared me. Or me last year deciding to block in a bunch of kids in the haunted house and literally get trampled to the point that I have footprints on my body. Uh, I have been injured in one way or another. So this year is going to be funny and great because it's going to be the first year that I have done an event at Nash Farm for Halloween and have not been injured. So it's going to happen. Really, I think my wife would hurt me if I got hurt again. Like she would handle it for me after that. So that's my story.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So, um, Dakota, I have a job for you. We have to leave a question for our next guest, but we have a few minutes. So while we're thinking of that, is there any closing remarks that y'all would like to make with regards to special events? And then Dakota can give us the question that I'm going to ask my next guest.
You know what? I'm glad you asked that, Craig, because I got a few things I want to clear up really quick. First of all, Katrina has really redefined everything that we have ever done with our special events team. Even if you take out the disastrous year that I had and you just look at our special events of the past, Katrina is doing at least, if not 3 times the number of events that we had to do. Last year for our 50th anniversary, she was the only special event coordinator, and she managed to pull off over 30 special I think it came out to be 31 or 32 special events at the end of the year. That's almost an event every weekend. This year has been even more. There was one weekend where she had 3 events in the weekend. We had a parade that morning, we had the soapbox derby that afternoon, and the movie that night. I tapped out at the second event. In fact, I don't even think I finished the entire second event before I went home and just said, "Katrina, you've got this." But she doesn't stop. She doesn't give up, and it's that tenacity, that passion for the job that I think really separates Parks and Rec professionals from other government employees. Like, you have to have a special heart to do this job. You have to really believe in what you're doing. It's got to be more than just a paycheck for you. It has to be a passion. It has to be something that you think about when you wake up. You think about it when you're going to bed. it's because you want to do it. It's not one that's going to be a huge reward. People are not going to shower praise on you unless, of course, you work on my team, but none of them do. So you just got to get by with that, knowing that you've made a huge difference. And Katrina and her team really show that out. Now we have a second special event coordinator, and we have a special event assistant, and then we have a couple of other assistants with Dakota and Kara, who's not here. So our special event team has really grown. But the backbone behind what kept Katrina being able to do everything she was doing is park maintenance and Michelle Dunn. Michelle is a rock upon which we can all rely. And then park maintenance, when I say they are literally the backbone of everything that we do, they are there before us, they are there after us. They are sweating, they're lifting, they're doing the hard work. In fact, they do so much that that first year when I got injured, they even brought me a golf cart so I could drive around and point out what they were not doing. So that's how dedicated they are, that they even gave me the means to make fun of them.
Mm,
And really, what more dedication can you have than that?
love it. Katrina and Donna, do you have any closing remarks about special events?
Yes, park maintenance, they're our first ones in and our last ones out each and every time. And Michelle Dunn is such an inspiration to special events. We call her the Queen of Halloween, and for good reason. So that is her favorite holiday, and where she shines the most, and where she inspires all of us. And Katrina Wagner, being in Parks and Recreation has its challenges, and special events is a lot of long hours and sometimes little praise. And she definitely has the calling for this job.
Love it. Katrina?
I'll have to say, I love y'all and thank y'all for everything that you said. It makes my heart just blow up. And it's the reason that I keep going.
Yes, I am great. You're right, Katrina. Thank you for
Absolutely
doing that.
nothing without the team. I'm just me. It is the team. It is maintenance. I miss everybody, and I love my team. I love working with them.
Fantastic. Paige?
Same. I love it. It's really, the whole team is just awesome. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons I love being here. Like I said before, is the people. Like being under Katrina, it's fun every day. It definitely has its challenges, because special events, like it is a long hour sometimes, and it's a lot of thinking, but it's imaginative and it's creative, and working alongside her and everyone else, Donna, Thomas, it's a lot of fun, and it's worthwhile with them. So.
Fantastic. Dakota, and then afterwards, if you have that question for our next guest.
Okay. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Working with all these wonderful people have taught me so much, and I'm just honestly growing where I'm at. And I think special events is just
I'm glad I could help you, Dakota. I'm here for you.
no, I'm gonna shout you out, Thomas. Like you actually have really helped me learn and do so many things. You've just been like, hey, you're writing an article. I'm like, okay, like sure. It's just like so cool. It's like everything every day there's something new. I could be having a completely different mindset, and he's like, nope, help me with this
So,
or do something like
Greg,
this.
Dakota submitted our first article to the newsletter, the DPRS newsletter last week. That's the article she's referring to.
Fantastic. I cannot wait. We need all the great articles to share what y'all are doing. So anytime y'all want to write an article, we will put it in our newsletter.
Paige actually has one now. I just haven't edited it yet. I was supposed to send it to Sherry 3 days ago. So, my bad, Sherry.
Dakota, what's our question for my next guest? And it can be a fun question. It can be a serious question. Like we've had, what if you had to be a piece of playground equipment, what would it be and why? Or very serious question. So it's blank canvas for you.
I've got a serious question. So for the next guest, I want to ask if there's one thing that they currently do, how can they redefine that to touch every single person in their community in a different way?
Oh, I love it. Can you repeat that one more time? If there's one thing
That
you
they could do, how could they redefine that to touch every person in their community in a different way?
Okay. I love it. Well, guys, thank you all so much for coming on the show today. This has been a really fun show, and I'm so glad we're able to really highlight what goes on in special events, because it's not a topic we go super deep on or even have so many voices in Parks and Rec to talk about. So this has been really special. I don't know whose idea it was to create a show just on special events, but that's a great job. And I am going to play a promo. Well, first of all, before I play the promo, we're going to the Georgia Parks and Rec Association. Are all of y'all going, or how many of you are going? Okay. Well,
Dakota and Paige are not going, though I am going to make Paige present next year, so she should get ready for that. But
fantastic.
myself, Katrina, and Donna are going. I think we have 14 or 15 people going.
Yeah. Well, I have 40 show slots to fill live from the convention. They're only 15 to 20-minute interviews, and it's kind of just checking in with you about your park systems and stuff. So if y'all know of anybody that's attending the event, let's fill up that calendar, which is only a couple of weeks from now. And then a big shout out to Palco that's supporting this show. They sell LED lights directly to the department that they can install yourself. So if you have a department that has the electricians, has the lifts, and has lights they want to upgrade, they can relight a whole field for like $35,000 or just $1,000 a fixture or something. So it's super efficient. I'll play a promo for them. And then also, if you would like to partner with us to help us create content like you're seeing now, or some of the other shows, we could not do what we do without the financial help of our strategic partners. And then we also promote your brand so that people like Henry County, Georgia may consider using your brand in their facilities. So thank y'all so much.
Like the Outdoor Link.
That's right. Like Outdoor Link. That's our latest partner. That's our latest partner that we have. And they basically, you can control anything in the entire city that has a light switch. You can control it from your cell phone or your laptop. And it's just part of that whole smart city play. So they recently are helping us to create a smart cities show that we're going to do every week. So thank you so much for that. Well, guys, thank y'all again so much for coming on the show today. Really appreciate it. And I will see y'all live in Georgia here in a couple of weeks. Y'all take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
When you invest in our high-performance LED sports arena lights, you're not just upgrading your facilities, you're helping us illuminate the untold stories of parks and recreation communities. Every purchase directly supports the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a media platform on a mission to celebrate the heart and soul of our local parks and programs. From after-school activities to summer leagues, these spaces shape lives, and their stories deserve to be told. Why your support matters. Capturing community impact. Your contribution helps us assemble a talented team of digital artists, storytellers, and filmmakers to create compelling videos, articles, and short films that spotlight how Parks and Rec programs change lives. Sharing untold stories. From a child's first home run to lifelong friendships forged on the court, we'll document these priceless moments and share them with the world. Inspiring the next generation. By highlighting the joy, inclusivity, and opportunities found in our parks, we foster a deeper appreciation for these vital community spaces. Light up arenas, brighten futures. Your choice to install LED sports arena lights isn't just a smart investment in energy efficiency and performance, it's an investment in stories that deserve to be told. Be part of the story. Take action today. Purchase LED sports arena lights and help us shine a spotlight on the heartwarming stories that define our parks and communities. Contact us now to learn more about our products and how your support fuels the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Together, we'll shine a light on the moments that matter most.
At DPR's Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.